Well, greetings everyone. It's been a little while, I think, hasn't it? At least something that isn't a cooking video. Anyway, hello everyone. It's not Thursday. It's more than likely Tuesday when you're viewing this. I'm going to try to keep this short because my phone battery, I'm filming this on my phone. My phone battery isn't exactly the best right now, and I don't really have any place to charge it at this time. So we're going to keep this short. As you're looking at the title, this is the annual school year reflection video. Now, in years past, it had said that I was thinking about not doing this anymore. As many of you know, I'm a very reflective person. And I feel like doing this is almost therapeutic for me, even if the year is great. And to be honest, this particular school year was very good. We were in the second year of the band program. The choir, I will talk about the choir there in a second, but the band program had its challenges this year. I will say that. I had quite a few participants, mostly the ones that were in their second year, who just decided to up and quit. Some of them kind of unexpectedly. And I wasn't sure what to make of that. And I tried to remind myself that, okay, this is how it is. You know, things like this happen. You know, people come and go like this. I try not to take it personally because it's more than likely, at least from my perspective and from the perspectives of the people who I discussed it with, it's not just me. There's other underlying or outerlying things that are playing into the choices of these students when they decide to not do it anymore. But anyway, probably one of the biggest successes for this particular school year was a week ago. Well, let's see, I'm filming this Saturday, so just over a week ago, we had a choir and band concert. First one ever, in my understanding, in the school's history. And I said to the audience that was there for the night, I think just being able to have that concert is a success in and of itself. The turnout was great. There were people there from the church. There were people there. I don't know if there were any from the other church. There were definitely, obviously, families there of the students participating. So all in all, just that we were able to have that kind of concert, I consider that to be a great success. Now, what I want to say about the choir is something that I didn't think I would say this year. This school year, I would say, was the best year for the choir. Now, the choir is different from band. There's a lot less, I won't say a lot less, but it's a little less work, quote unquote work, that goes into working the choir than it does the band. But the choir actually started in 2019, which was the beginning of the lockdown year. The last quarter of that year, we weren't in school. So we didn't have the choir then. And then when we came back the following year for the 2021 school year, there was no choir. I didn't do a choir that year. And then last school year, 21-22, I brought the choir back. And I don't know what it was, if it was the people who were a part of the choir or if it was my approach to it. But last year was really a difficult and quite a bit of a struggle, especially toward the end. I actually ended the choir a year early because people were just not showing up. They just were not really into it. And I can't really explain why. So what I had attempted to do this year was to change it up a little bit, do some different kind of things than what I had, and be a little bit more intentional with the music that I was working with other things that we were doing, like warm-ups even, like getting some fun choir warm-ups. And I don't know what it was, but it just blossomed. It just really took off, and I loved it. It was such a complete contrast from the previous year. So outside of that, choir and band, both very successful in spite of the band issues this year. Otherwise, in terms of the general music stuff, we did have some really big issues toward the beginning of the year that kind of leveled out and sort of fixed themselves toward the middle of the year. The one thing, and I want to be very careful when I say this because I love all my students, and I really do, and I want the best for them. But you do have those classes that are just really difficult. And this is the end of my 8th year now. And in the 8 years that I've been there, we had one class this year that was just so difficult, so immature. I mean, they're children, obviously, but very needy, very not willing to work together. Some of them were very young for their age, being in the grade that they were in. It made it very challenging, especially toward the beginning of the year. We actually had a couple of students toward the beginning of the year that ended up not returning after the first quarter because of some things going on. And, I feel like that just happens. It's a part of what this is. So going forward, band and choir going to continue next year. We got another new third grade class coming in to be fourth graders that I'm looking to open them up to the opportunity to have them join the choir or the band. And other opportunities. I have a great idea for the choir this year. I want to look into getting some choir officers as well. I started some officers for the band, which is a very typical thing to do. I don't really have any for the choir, and I want to look into starting up something like that next year. I'll have quite a few experienced middle schoolers next year in the choir, praying that they stick around, because this year the choir was over 50% fourth graders, which was awesome, but now we got to retain them. That's a project to work on for next year, as well as some other minor things to work on next year with the band. Trying to nail down some of the people that are struggling and trying to lovingly help them say, okay, here's what we really need to do to make ourselves better. Other than that, I got a couple other things planned. I have an idea what next year's spring concert's going to be. I'm not sure about the Christmas concert, but I'm really, really excited. Next year's going to be year 9. I can't believe that. And it's going to be the most difficult year, I think, because next year, the students that were in kindergarten when I started teaching there will be in 8th grade. Some highlights for the summer. Well, as you can tell, I'm clearly not at Toledo anymore. I'm actually in New York City. A friend of mine was ordained to the priesthood today. It's Saturday, Memorial Day weekend, as I'm filming this. I'm visiting the September 11th memorial. The Freedom Tower is very out of focus. It's this building right here. And this is the North Pool, where the North Tower of the World Trade Center stood. Other travel, less than a week from today, actually a week from yesterday, I'm going up to Wisconsin and Minnesota for a traincation, I think they call it. I'll be up there for about 10 days. And then a Game of Favorites convention in North Carolina after the 4th of July. I'm also excited to welcome Erin, my fiance, who I introduced you to through a picture in my last video that I made like this. She is not someone to appear on camera very often, but I think in the second half of What's for Dinner this year, you will see some of her. She is very excited to be moving out to Ohio, to beginning her career out there. She'll be working out there starting in a couple of weeks, and I'm very excited to have her out there. And our wedding will be in October. You will get to meet her on camera. I know she'll at least make one video with me at some point. I also plan to make and return to doing weekly videos as best I can. I have just found myself to be so busy and so preoccupied with so many other things that when I get home from school, it's like, I just need to relax. Like this particular May was an exceptionally busy May. I had Erin's graduation from nursing school, which was amazing, great to support her. I had several other things, 2 concerts, the normal concert, the band concert, and now I'm here in New York. So a lot going on, but it's all blessing. I'm so blessed to be able to do the things that I can do. So I am gonna go and probably say my rosary somewhere. Then I'm gonna go meet up with Dana. I actually stayed with her, and I will be staying with her for the next couple nights until I head back to Toledo on Monday, and then get ready for the trip up north. So this is not the end. Hopefully this is the beginning of a summer full of content. I don't know what kind of content you're gonna get, but hopefully more than you've gotten in the last 6 months. So with that, take care, God bless, happy Memorial Day, and I will hopefully see you all very, very soon. God bless.